everyone, Great Taz here once again, and today this is a very important video, and I hope that you watch it through and through. Today, I am on the Common Test Server version 1 for 1.20.1. This is a huge update, and I don't mean as in general size, but some of the stuff that they are coming up with in 120.1 and that they want to test on the common test. Now, not all of these items that we are going to go over will come to the full client, and not everything that is here will come to the client as you see them. First off, everyone's been talking about one of these things called WoT Plus. A lot of games are doing this plus subscription type of thing, and World of Tanks is also doing it. And as you can see here, when I first loaded in, I had a bunch of different stuff that came up on my screen on 120, and I've already played a game in Recon just to play around, and I got to see a bunch of the tier 10 Japanese TD, and the sucker does hit like a train. Let's just put it that way. The rounds can be bounced because I played my Liam and I played one battle and I ended up bouncing 2 shots, I believe, 1 or 2 shots from the Ho-Ri. And this tank looks goofy. I'll go through all this, show you what all the tanks look like and the experience needed for each one here momentarily. But the first thing we're talking about is WoT Plus. So like I said, I went through a bunch of different things. As you can see, WoT Plus is right up here. Alright, WoT Plus is basically a whole different thing. And let's just read this verbatim from what it says. World of Tanks Plus gives you the opportunity to earn extra bonuses that improve your gaming experience, drive an exclusive tank called the TS-54, accumulate gold and gold reserves, train your crew even when they're on break, I'm not quite sure what that means, and exclude an additional map. So basically, everybody could exclude one map. SWAT Premium players could exclude 2. Now, WoT Plus players can exclude 3. I'll get into that in a minute. And demount equipment for free. That is huge. That is huge. So we're going to go into manage. I've already said let's do it once. And of course, manage is going to take us to the site. I can't really find anything anywhere else, and I should have started this recording even before I started, because this is the first thing to come up. So it's 300 gold a month. That is on the test server. Here's the thing about it. You can't buy less than 500 gold in the premium shop, which is $2.50 US. That, for $2.50, getting these abilities, honestly, is pretty decent. I mean, even if you were not, I believe you also have to have a World of Tanks premium time. So now you figure how much is a month of premium, stuff like that. A premium account plus another 300 gold, which is another 250. So 30 days of premium is $11.06 American. So with the WoT Plus, it's another 250 at most, probably $2. So you got basically, $13 for a month of premium plus WoT Plus. So it's worth it. See, as you can see here, there's a gold reserve and a credit reserve. I get to exclude 3 maps. I do have 14 days of premium because I earned a bonus for doing the one match. I'll get into those in a minute. I get to exclude 3 maps. I get premium missions, manageable experiences. And again, you click subscriptions, it takes you right back there. I'm not sure where the TS-56 tank is or what it is. So with doing a little research, the TS-54 is a tier 8 American heavy tank. They do not have it in game currently. So let's see if we can find it in stats. So add the research, do the research, compare, see what we get in here. It's a tier 8 American heavy tank. TS-56, where are you at? I don't even see it in the comparison. TS-54, there it is. And I didn't see it in the garage, so we'll quickly view this in the garage. So here it is. It's the double barrel American tank. I don't have a crew for it because I'm looking at my American heavies tier 8 and it does not show, which is kind of weird. And I open it up to all tier 8 American tanks. Says I have it, but doesn't show up. I'm not quite sure why. Well, it's showing I could put any crew in it, so let's just throw a crew in it. I put medium crew, heavy crew. This tank is not completely set up yet, as you can see here. Alright, so this tank is not quite set up yet in-game, but as you can see here, I can put some equipment in it, and this will also allow me to show the tank off, and we already know what that is. So this is what the TS-54 looks like. This is the reward tank for your WoT Plus. It is the dual barrel US heavy tier 8. At this point in time of recording, I was not able to get into any games because pretty much everyone's playing tier 10s on the common test server. Everyone's trying out the new Japanese tank line. Speaking of the Japanese tank line, let's go ahead and go right on over there and check to see what it looks like. Now, we're not going to be able to get in a lot of games, and that is, as you can see right off from the get-go, the Chi-He, which is the tier 4 Jap tank, you're going to need 13,550 experience. Alright, this tank comes with a total of 8 modules. It comes with your basic 4. It doesn't have a turret, so you don't have a turret. So you're going to have to research a gun, and that'll allow you to research the Jiho, which is the tier 6 version of it. Now, it does come with an extra engine. The engine is on it only, so you do not have to research the engine if you do not. And tracks, which is on this tank, the tier 5 only also. The only one you will have to research is the gun, and that is going to be 5,500. Then you're going to need 20,250 more experience to get right into the tier 6. So the tier 6 is in the same way. You also have modification, as you can see here. This is what the tank looks like, the tier 6. It's got a little roam dome, big front flat, so this is going to be a decently easily to pen. You got a big flat spot here, which will probably be easily to pen. A lower plate here and a mid plate, which is going to be flat, which should be probably easy to pen. All of these tanks have 6 crews, so basically once you look at one tank, you'll be able to look at them all. You'll be able to go with them all. As you can see, here is the tier 5. Looks like it has a turret, but it does not. Kind of weird layout. It does have a somewhat of a turret, but it's a stationary turret. So there's that. All right, back to the tech tree. To get to the tier 7, you do not need to research anything but the gun, as you can see here, and the tracks and the engine are on for this tank and this tank alone. However, the gun is also for this tank and this tank alone also. Just like the Ho Ni, its gun is for it only. So you'll need 17,500 to get the gun, and then another 56,320 to be able to research the Chi-To SP. The Chi-To SP kind of looks like the tier 5. Mostly looks like the tier 5, pretty much very similar. Doesn't look like a too blunt out their basic turret on a tank, a solid turret. So you're going to need 56,320 to be able to get that. Now, the only thing you need to research to go to the tier 8 is the gun again. The gun is for this tank only. You can research the engine, which is also for the Chi-To only, also like the tracks. You do not need to research these, but you'll need 21,000 to research the gun, and then 97,300 to research the Ho-Ri. The Ho-Ri is the tier 8. It comes with a 105 and then a 120 max. The 120 is for the tank itself, along with the engine and the tracks, which you do not need to research to be able to go to the tier 9. You only need the gun again, but you need 49,000 experience to go for the gun, and then another 152,200 for the tier 9 Ho-Ri 1. The Ho-Ri 1, and this is what the Chi-To SP looks like. So it got this a little upper portion. I'm willing to bet that this commander's hat is going to be a weak spot. So is this. So if you can get your gun depression down, you can hide the middle one, but you're going to hide the commander's hatch so much. As you can see here, it is pretty flat on the sides. Does have a slight slant, very slight, probably a 5%, and overall. So as you can see, that is the HO-RE 2. So the HO-RE 1, which is kind of weird that the HO-RE 1 is the tier 9 and the HO-RE 2 is the tier 8, but here we go. So here is the HO-RE 1. It comes with 127 stock and a 149 tier 10 gun as the upper. The cannon is for the tank only. You only need to research the cannon, but you can also research the engine or the tracks, which are both for the HO-RE 1 only. So everything in this line is only needed to research one to go to the next. That is the gun. The gun is the only thing. You do have an engine and tracks. Now, if you've already researched everything through the Chinese line, you won't have to worry about the radios, because if you've gone up through the OHO at least, or you at least have the Type 3 Co radio, and that is in all of them. You'll have the radios if ever you played some Chinese tank or Japanese tanks. My bad, I keep saying Chinese. And the HO-RE 1 looks like this. Very similar to a JagTiger in its layout, except for this portion. The JagTiger does have a very slanted front. It does have a big frontal deck, and then you have your back superstructure in the very back. So this tank is going not to be a very sit and run into the front. Last but not least, and this is the one everyone's playing, is the HO-RE 3. Comes with a 149 millimeter cannon. It is similar to the 149 Type 96. So as a quick comparison to the guns between the tier 9 and the tier 10, the tier 10 does do 50 more average damage, does have 15 more standard pen on standard rounds, has 35 more pen on premium rounds, and same HE round penetration. Now the HE damage on the tier 9 is, for the top gun, is 840. You get 40 more damage out of the tier 10 gun. Tier 10 gun is 2 per seconds faster loading, so you have a higher rate of fire. You do have over 200 DPM faster. The dispersion is the same. The aim time is 0.1 second faster overall in the HO-RE. Overall, this is what the HO-RE looks like. Now this, I've seen this tank in there, and that, honestly, the cannon on that thing is as long as the tank itself. So if we had barrels that actually clip buildings and stuff, this thing would be redonkulous. This is definitely, looking at it, a battleship gun, 149 millimeter cannon. So yeah, here we go. So it's very JPEG lookish. Its firepower is very JPEGish with high damage. As you can see that, as we already seen, not quite the 1,000 damage you're going to get out of the premium rounds of the JPEG, but still 700 is not to be scoffed off. Now remember, this is plus or minus 25% of damage. So roughly, we're going to say 200 is going to be roughly 800, so you can get up to 900 with this tank. That's just a rough estimate. So there is the Japanese tech tree line, what you need, and how to go about it. Again, it starts off from the tier 4 Chi-He when you need 13,550. To actually research it, you need to go through the turret and the 7.5 millimeter tank gun Type 99 to be able to research the HO-NE and get into that line. That is the only two things you need to research in the Chi-Ha. But as most people are, they're going to already be beyond the Cho-RE, because they're going to be up into the O-NE and Chi-Rai in the medium tanks. So pretty much, as long as you research up to these points, you're going to have the ability to get to Cho-High-NE real quick like that. Let's move on to the next thing. In here also, we got, go right back to the garage here, we got two mode testings. We have Recon, which you've seen down here in the corner, and we also have the Season of the Griffin, and it lasts till April 18th. Now, I don't know how long the test server is going to go, so I don't know if these are going to be completely random. Now, the one thing I did mention that I got a free tank, there are new daily missions, and as you can see here, I don't know if this is going to come to the World of Tanks live or if it's just going to be in the tester, but there is a missions completed thing here. So if you complete these missions, like I did this one, you're going to get stuff in it. This might be interesting to see if this actually comes to live. And if they're going to be doing this, this is awesome, because this is definitely a really good thing for free-to-play players. It's going to give you a 7-day. At the first point, it's given a 7-day free rental of the AMX M4 MLE 49. This is a really decent premium tank, and for 7 days, it's worth it. Give 14 days of premium also. So this could just be on the common test server only. I don't have anything. Completing the second one, you'll get a tier 6 researchable tier 6 vehicle may be selected. The vehicle comes with researched mods and trained crew at 100%. And a garage slot. So that's really awesome. If you don't have all your tier 6 and you do this, that's going to be good. I don't know if this is going to be in just the common test. Again, this all is subject to change. And the top one is going to give you a discount researching and purchasing a tier 10 tank, 50 battle points, personal training manual, 100 bonds, and 1 day of premium account. The bottom 4 things are generally already in the game, and that's what, when you progress to 100 points, that's what you get in there already. There is a difference. As you can see, the battle points here are a lot less here than they are on live server. There's 3 here, there's 5 here, there's 7 here. On the live server, these are like 20, 20, and 20, or 25, and then the premium, you get some premium too. You'll get some from the premium missions, but it's a little different on the common test server overall. On the Recon Mode that we have going on right now, we have testing of the new game mechanics. We have testing of the extra things or events that are going to happen in said maps on these 4 maps currently they have set up. So I've already, as you can see, already played Himmelsdorf once. And as you can see on the minimap here, this is some of the stuff that happens. This is a Zeppelin that crashes, and it lands it in this area. I have not got a chance to see what goes on Proc, Runeborg, and from the preview, we've seen some of the stuff that happens on Safe Havens, like this blows up. And I haven't seen any pushable like carts or anything like that. And there's something that happens on the train tracks on this one too. I did not get to see the actual event happening, so I'm going to hopefully be able to do some recording and get some of those actually captured to show some of those off. But this are what is going to be in the Recon Mode, probably coming to the live servers to help test. Now, this is a big reason I'm making this video, is I think everybody needs to download the common test server. A link will be in the description, so this helps. Download it and try this stuff out. Give them your opinion. Your opinion is matter on a lot of this stuff. And if you look at a lot of what Wargaming has done, it's come from people who've played on the common test servers and have given feedback through stuff like Recon Mission. Like, we have a whole new map that was in the Recon Mission twice, I think, and you got to play so many battles on it. Please, this will need to be done. Do this. All I gotta say. Now, the last thing I want to go over here is crew skills. Crew skills are changing. Perks and skills are now going to be the same. Basically, you're going to start using them the moment you train them. So basically, they start at 0% and they become maxed out at 100%. So everything is now technically a skill. There is no such thing as a perk. A perk before, you needed to have 100% train. Firefighting. Major change to firefighting. Firefighting is no longer a group skill. Firefighting is now a radio operator skill. So this is making things a little bit more crazier for those tanks that have 3 crews and the commander is 5 freaking, fulfills 4 of the 5 positions. And now in battle, if you have a skill that is a situational based skill, you will get a notification of activation and a duration display in battle. So this will help you to know when certain activated skills or situational skills are active. Let's go ahead and look at the skills. First, we're going to start with the commander, and we're going to just start with this commander right here, because this commander is going to give us two things. It's going to give us the commander and the radio operator. As you can see right away, this commander has no skills. First off, you're going to notice that there's no firefighting in the group skills. All you have is repair, concealment, and brothers in arms. That is your standard. As you scroll down, you can see here is our commander skills, and we have a new commander skill called practicality. As you can see here, there's a notification icon, perk with a situational effect. Some of the things have changed a little bit. Fully trained increases the amount of XP by 15%. Is mentor, sound duration. With fully trained, issues an alert about enemy SPG fire within a 1 second delay. A 0.1 second delay, and determines the direction of the shot. Decreases the negative stun effect. Now, the green stuff is the skill side. There are perk sides to stuff too, and that would be the yellow. Okay, that is the difference between everything's now a perk skill. Everything has an ability that starts just like a skill, but some still have perk bonuses, and there is one of them. Recon has not changed. It gives you increased view range of 20%, and the observation dice you'll still increase a use up to 20%. Jack of all trades completely is still the same. It decreases the chance of the commander injury by 30%, which is really nice, and also replace knocked out crew members at 50%. Effectiveness. Eagle Eye is still the same, but it's a situational. When fully trained, increases the chance of damning modules and injuring. This changed. Eagle Eye has changed. I can tell you this right now. When fully trained, it increases the chance of damaging modules. This used to be a gunner skill. Or injuring crew members by 5% for all shell types. Now, that is the old gunner skill. This is the old commander skill, which is a perk. Identifies critically damaged modules on targeting enemies within a half a second delay. So that's something that's changed with Eagle Eye. It increases crits, chance for crits, but it shows when it's fully trained what is critted on a tank. Now here's the new one, practicality. Practicality is going to become a very big perk in the future. And why I say that is you can read right there. When fully trained, it decreases consumable cooldown by 15%. 15% on 90 seconds, because 90 seconds is the cooldown, is 13.5 seconds, right? That will drop your cooldown to 76.5 seconds. That will be your cooldown with a fully trained practicality. You can see why I say it's going to become a big thing. Here are radio operator skills. First off, you can see Vengeance is now Call for Vengeance is a skill perk. When fully trained, it decreases the radio operator injury chance by 30%. So this is what's funny. I am not sure that this stacks. I'm not sure that Call for Vengeance and the commander skill up here, Jack of all trades, will actually work together. Alright, I do not know if Jack of trades and Call for Vengeance will stack. That would give you a 60% chance, less for commanders to have it. That is your skill portion, and it decreases the chance of the radio operator injury by 30%. And once it's fully trained, it reports enemy positions for another 4 seconds after your vehicle is destroyed. Now, it used to be 2 seconds. They increased that to 4 seconds, making that even a better chance. Firefighting now is a radio operator only perk, and when fully trained, accelerates firefighting. Accelerates your firefighting by 80%. So it will decrease your time you burn by 80%. That's what I expected. Situational situation, no change. New effect, new skill is jamming. When fully trained, it decreases the time your vehicle is visible by 1 second. Decrease from 10 seconds to 9 seconds. So you'll no longer be visible for 10 seconds with this skill. So it'll be 9. That will be good, and another highly used. Alright, along with situational awareness. Comms Expert is another really good one here, and it has changed also. When it's fully trained, it improves the major qualifications of all crew members by 2.5%. Keyword there is if the amount of assisted damage exceeds the standard durability of your vehicle, or HP. So if you have a 2,000 hit point vehicle and you've done 2,100 damage, this will come into effect. But then again, it's a situational effect, so don't expect it all the time. That is the skill portion, or the perk portion. The skill portion, it increases signal range like it did before by up to 20%. And teamwork which is a renaming to signal group or something. It has the name have changed and a little bit has changed by this. First, when fully trained, increases the signal range of all allied vehicles within the range of your radio by 10%. So basically, if you have a 500-meter radio range and the tank next to you has 500 meters, they now have 550-meter radio range. That is the skill portion of this. Now the perk portion, as the major qualification of all your crew members increased by 5% if the nearest ally is at most 50 meters away. So this is going to be a good and bad thing. Simply is going to put people within the same grid squares. So this would be kind of really good for two artillery that are going to stick near each other. But when you're up front and fighting heavily, this is also going to be good because it's going to increase all your crew, all these skills over here by 5%. So if you're at 100% crew, you have a commander, which all gives another 10% to this. Plus they get 5%. I'm getting 5% from this. So that's 116 for another 5% on top of that. It's going to be putting like 121% skill crew. And then if you have comms expert also, that's going to be almost 127.5, 128% major skill crew. So your major skill crews are getting a boost, but only from the operator. All right, let's go ahead and check out our gunner. The gunner, as you can see here, still has all the primary ones, and then now he has a few new ones. Designated target as does not increase when fully trained, increases the time before the enemy vehicle is no longer visible inside the gunner's viewing range by 2 seconds. So it's changed a little bit. Before you had to target the enemy for it to last 2 seconds. Now it's anybody within visible range. So this is going to be a counter kind of jamming's kind of a counter to this at 50%. So this would add 2 seconds. So you went from 10 to 12. Now with jamming, now you're back down to 11. This is going to be a very good light tank skill just because of that, along with jamming to decrease your turn. Now a new skill or perk is concentration. When fully trained, this is a perk really only because it's a perk type situation. When fully trained, decreases the gun dispersion of a stationary vehicle by 2.5%. And I believe that this is going to work for the STRV line just like a camo net does. So if you have to turn, you're going to be able to still keep this effect going. And it's a situational, so you'll know when it's effect. Another one is improved aiming. This is going to be a big gunner skill. Also, when fully trained, improves aiming time by 2.5%. So 2.5% faster on your aim speed. Armor, still the same when fully trained, decreases the range of potential damage and the potential penetration value by 20 plus or minus 20% and reduces the penalty to accuracy of a damaged gun by 50%. As you can see, the first one decreases the range of potential damage and potential penetration value by 20%, which is really weird. I'm not quite exactly sure understanding what that means, but the second half we already know. So armor's changed a little bit too. Deadeye, when fully trained, increases the chance of critical damage in enemy. This is the part that got put into the commander skill of Eagle Eye. So Deadeye, when fully trained, increases the critical chance of damaging enemy modules and injuring enemy crew members by 10%, effective with all types of spell. So if you have this and the commander skill of Eagle Eye, you're up to 15% chance in doing criticals. So that will be good in that sense. Snapshot, again, fully trained, decreases dispersion of turret rotation by 15%. Let's go ahead and check out driver skills, shall we? As you can see, the top three are still the same. We have controlled impact when fully trained, increases the damage of vehicles by 15% and decreases 15% to yours. Decreases ramming damage to your suspension by 50%. Off-road driving, when fully trained, reduces speed loss by 10% when driving on soft terrain. So on soft terrain, you get only 10% loss. On moderately soft terrain, it's only 2.5%. Smooth ride still does the same, increases accuracy when firing on the move by 4%. New skill, engineer. When fully trained, increases engine power by 5%, adding 1 kilometer per hour of maximum speed to both forward and back. This is going to be huge, a skill you're going to see used a lot more just for the extra kilometer per hour, especially in heavy tanks. I mean, you got a tank that does 19 kilometer per hour and you get that +1. It's not going to be that that big. But then again, you add it on with a turbo, and it might actually, a turbo adds up to 7, I think. So that's 8 kilometers per hour. You could be going faster. So you can take a 19-kilometer-hour tank to a 27-kilometer-hour tank. Really nice that way. Preventive maintenance, when fully trained, decreases the chance of critical damage to fuel tanks by 50% and chance of engine fire by 30%. This, I believe, used to be 20%, so they did add some changes to that. And then clutch braking increases your transfer speed by 5%. Loaders. Let's move on to the loaders, because loaders have actually got 3 new skills, and they're pretty cool. First off, if you can see here, repairs, concealment, intuition, same as it was before, increases the chance of speed changing spells at a fully loaded gun by 60% when trained, increases the speed of changing shell types in a loaded gun by 60%. So if you have one gun already loaded with AP and you want to go to APCR, you click this, it's 60% increase in speed loading. So you'll have 60% basically of the load already complete. Here are our new skills. We have 3 of them. We have Granilla. When fully trained, decreases the penalty of vehicle concealment after a shot by 10%. This is going to be huge for TDs and anybody who likes to shoot from behind bushes. And it also increases concealment behind vegetation by 2%. So again, this is going to be a light tank and TD skill. This is going to give you your ability for your light tanks to hide a little bit more, especially your passive scouts, and your TDs to hide in the back just that little bit more. Shell tuning. When fully trained, increases the minimum potential damage and the minimum potential penetration value by 2%. So if your minimum potential is, we'll say at a 500 tank, and 25% of that is like 125, right? So that is now less than 125%. So you could do 375. Now this is 2% less, so it'd only be 23%. So you'll be closer to 400 on your minimum damage and penetration. Close combat. When fully trained, accelerates the gun loading by 2.5% at distances of 50 meters or less. So this is going to be on a lot of your brawling tanks, like 907s and your IS-7s and stuff like that. It's going to allow you to load your gun just that much faster when you're in close combat, i.e. why it's called close combat. Adrenaline rush, again, when trained, accelerates loading gun by 10% if your vehicle has less than 10 hit points. Now, this is really good for tanks that have a lot of hit points because that 10% is less. So 10% of 2,000 is 200 hit points. Again, but if you have a 500 hit point tank, 10% of 500 is 50. So, sneeze and you go boom. Safe stowage, still the same. Ammo rack durability by 25%. Those are the crew skills changes. These maybe or maybe not. Again, these are subject to change and may not come to the live server. Common test servers are more close likely to come to the live servers than maybe a sandbox. So these are all the things that are coming. And I hope that you've actually got some information on this. We've went over Recon mission. Let's go ahead and look at the Onslaught. Onslaught is coming back, and it's a 7v7 tier 10 battles only. It's a 25-day event, as it shows here. And in here, we have new ranking system. You'll be able to play with anybody, no matter what system they are, whether they're iron, whether they're legendary or debunked, you'll be able to play with them. Your 2D skill, this 2D style, and you can see these tanks are forward right here. There's a Model A, 50M, and an E4. So these here, as you can see, all different styles, and this is what the new ones look like. So, and these are all the rewards you get for hitting there. So you get awarded for achieving legendary rank of the season Griffin, and you get the tank, and you get this. As you can see, there's a lot of rewards in here. Right there, okay. This is the weekly missions. You have weekly missions that you're going to be able to do. Be the top 5 of prestige, earn 100 points over any number of battles. Now you got to do this one before you can do this one, before you can do that one, these are progressive. And this is leaderboard. I don't think anybody is playing any of this right now on here. I think they're just basically testing out tanks. As you can see, there's a lot going on in the test server, and it would be best if as many people as possible get on and try this out. And I say that just for the simple fact that yes, Wargaming wants your feedback, and it's good time to give your feedback to Wargaming. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I covered everything. I'm sorry for the length of this video, but there was a lot to put out about 1.20.1 common test server. And again, I reiterate, I do think that you should go ahead and take time to go ahead and come on and try some of this stuff out, especially the new crew skills to see what you're going to like personally. We know people like Skill is going to have these already figured out on what's the best setup for each tank, but hey, everybody's a little different and everybody wants to do things a little bit different, so maybe you should test them out yourself. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please make sure to click that like button down below. While you're down below, don't forget to leave a comment. I do respond to 99% of my comments, so within a timely manner, usually within the first week, usually within, as soon as I get notified, I do. Usually within the first week, I will respond to most of my. If you're not subscribed and you want to keep up to date with stuff like this from World of Tanks or Minecraft or anything else I do on here, make sure that you click that subscription button and click the notification bell, changing it from personalized to all to make sure you get notifications for everything I upload. There's going to be some things coming in the future on this channel that I'm going to be reviewing some other games. I'm looking at getting into a few alpha tests. Of course, I will be under DNCs, do not disclosure agreements, so I won't be able to say much about it other than that, hey, I am testing this game. That is basically the gist of it. When they become in the beta, I will be doing more stuff. Also, hopefully getting this recorded done and uploaded as soon as possible. The recording date is on the 24th of March. Hopefully I will have it up before the end of the 24th of March, and you'll be able to see this. With that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get on out of here. Maybe I'll see you on the battlefield.